I don't know why. For giggles, I was like, oh, what's my net worth? I kind of want to calculate that. Let's see how much am I worth in the system? Nothing. I can die. I can understand why they don't care if I die. You know.
There was a time when women used to be assets. These days, women are liabilities. There was a time when a woman was a partner. These days, women are opponents. There was a time where women were feminists. These days, they're feminists. What that basically means is that the only thing that a man seeks is peace. And because the man has not been able to find that in modern times, the man has chosen to stay by himself, accumulate wealth, work on his well-being mentally and physically, and grow himself so that he can put himself in a position to travel to places where men that are of quality, mentally and emotionally, can find appreciation.
Take care of the man that takes care of you. There's so much advice on the internet telling women to, play men, get that money, do that, whatever. You're gonna do that. But when you have a good man, make sure you take care of him. Make sure he is fed. Make sure his mental health is right. Make sure that he is working out. Make sure that he is not drained. Make sure that his back is rubbed. Make sure that he has a home-cooked meal every day if that's what he wants. Don't be spending all his money while he's high and dry and broken. You loaded over there. I feel like we have gotten to this mentality of like the rappers, girlfriends, and baby mamas, and everybody want that kind of lifestyle. Women who are actually looking for a partner. If you are looking for marriage and happiness and stability and companionship, you cannot be selfish. Now, if that man ain't worth nothing and you just getting what you can out of the situation, then by all means, do you, boo. But if that man makes sure that you are respected, happy, taken care of, have all the nice things that you like, you need to make sure that he gets the same in return. I feel like this is why a lot of men are getting to the point where they're saying like marriage is no point for men. What are they getting out of marriage? And it's the same way for women. They feel like they're not getting certain things out of a marriage. But speaking from a perspective of having a good man that takes care of you, it has to be reciprocated. Don't be selfish, please. Not with a good man.
You know what's the beauty as a man getting older?
Yeah.
You can laugh at these stories, but a lot of these young boys, they're not even trying to date these girls anymore. There was a report that, I forgot what, I think it was New York Times. They were talking about that today, in general, right? In general, men from 18 to 36 haven't smashed in a year and a half, bro. I'm gonna send you the report. That's in general. I'm not talking about our hoods.
I think that the Me Too movement totally ruined dating in the modern era. Nobody likes to be called a creep, or nobody likes to be seen as one, especially men. Younger men definitely aren't dating anymore. And we don't give a f because there's not really much people that can actually like match who we are. Like I'm sitting here with my hat backwards right now, cool. But I'm 33, almost 34 years old. I don't give a f about anybody like that doesn't want to actually like get to know me. I don't. Why would I? I've had my fair share, I was just in a relationship for 9 years. I had a couple dates with one person back in December, September, October, November. I don't give a shit. I don't even remember, but it was the first time I'd gone on a date in 10 years. People suck. These men don't give a shit. If you don't have anything to bring to the table, if you don't have real value, if you don't have real love, if you don't have real compassion, real care, real kindness, real discernment, any sort of talent, skill, instead of just being like a trophy, whoever the fuck, no. Hell no. Correct me if I'm wrong.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore or don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number, he had to go through lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first. How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance, and my mom was like, get out of here. She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gotten married, they would have never had kids. But he was persistent. He wanted to take her out on a date so badly. He was like, what do I have to do to take you out on a date? She was working late their first date, so he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park, just planned the whole thing. He wrote her poetry. He was yearning. How my aunt and my uncle met. My aunt was a dancer on a cruise ship, and he was the photographer, and he was persistent. She overheard him one night saying to his buddy, he was like, I'm gonna marry that girl. He had just met her, and now they're married and they have 2 kids together. I don't hear anything like that now. Now we're praising eye contact. Now we're praising if a guy held a door open to us and smiled. That is what we're praising. It feels so backwards. I just wonder when it shifted, because I feel like that is the whole downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone now, because men just don't care anymore.
Look at this article I found today. The dangerous rise of men who won't date woke women. Pathetic. I know you probably can't tell, but I'm quite woke and very alert to social injustice. Woke discrimination in dating should not be tolerated. Also, who wouldn't want this? I mean, look at these bangs. They're perfect. Come to think of it, I've been single for the past 10 years, ever since I started free bleeding in women's marches. But what kind of man doesn't love that level of confidence? I don't even have that many dating requirements. I mean, he has to be a vegan, obviously, and he must have his pronouns in his bio. He must provide proof of vaccination and all his boosters, and he must wear an N95 mask or equivalent but forget about condoms, because that's what healthcare is for. He needs to be okay with the fact that I don't shave any body hair, but he has to be perfectly manscaped with the body of Chris Hemsworth. He also must be okay with the fact that I wear natural deodorant. It doesn't really work, but at least I don't have aluminum seeping into my skin. And last but not least, he must not like video games or sports. So I don't really know what the problem is. I'm a total catch. Did you ever think that maybe it's your attitude? Or maybe it's your irrational list of standards? What do you mean attitude? Also, I don't have to lower my standards for any man or anyone.
Re-bleeding is crazy work. This is hilarious.
To all of my ladies in the dating pool, let me show you how to redirect your way out of a low budget experience. Okay, this is a potential suitor. He has no number saved because period. Y'all already know how I roll. Good morning. It was great speaking with you last night. I woke up so refreshed. I would love to take you to coffee this week. Does Wednesday work? Okay, you cannot take me to coffee or tea on the first date. It's not equitable for me. I don't drink coffee and my perfume costs too much, so don't play. All right, so I hail from corporate America. We're going to use the sandwich effect here. 6 years in the C-suite. We about to use this. Okay, boom. So I say, good morning. It was great speaking with you also. It's actually restaurant week coming up. Here's the link. Let me know which one you decide. I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to start off with something good, okay? It was great speaking with you also. I'm not even addressing the coffee, baby. We're going to redirect you in the middle, then I'm going to end with something great saying, I'm looking forward to seeing you. We're also putting the ball back in his court because he's a grown-ass man, okay? You need to make the decision. So he goes, I just looked over the options. Let's do Italian. Perfect. So he goes, Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'm like, works for me. I'm in Alexandria and I'm not far. If you could pick me up or send me an Uber, that would be awesome, because why would you want me working on cobblestone? Why would you want me looking for parking? It sounds laborious to me. He goes, no problem. I'll send an Uber around 6:15. Baby is a new man. He is a new man. And I go, wonderful. Thank you. Ask for what you want. Be polite in your ass. Be a little bit difficult and always say please and thank you. There you go.
Kal-El says, if you don't speak with and entertain the wrong types of women, you won't have petty issues. In finance, we call it risk avoidance. They are easy to discern. Exactly. At some point in time, it's just business for men. Avoiding this nonsense.
What the does that mean? I don't don't get why I'm still single. I'm a catch. What is going on in my life where I don't have a man? Or are my standards too high? I feel like nowadays men today want to be chased. What happened to masculinity? What happened to men courting women? Back in the day, dating was so much easier. Today's dating is hell. You give a guy your number, and all of a sudden, you don't hear from them until 3 to 4 days later. What was the point of me giving you my number? The talking doesn't go as far as the actual app. There are no, let me take you out to dinner. Let's go catch a movie. Let's get to know each other. What happened to men actually planning dates? What happened to it? I do not chase men. I did it once, would never do it again. My biggest ick is a guy that can't hold a conversation. Now, I gotta talk the whole goddamn date. I hate it. To be dating no guy that don't have no money. I don't want some shala, but I've dated broke men my whole life. Now I'm in a place where I have money and I want to travel and I want to see the world. I want you to have the financial stability to pick up and go on a trip. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for no Louis. I'm not asking for no goddamn bust down Chanel.
Man, let us know what y'all think about this. Leave a comment down below.
Short answer, we do. Long answer is a lot more complicated. And it's too much to cover in one TikTok or one conversation. But here's my opinion. If you're waiting for guys to approach you and make the first move, you're attracting a certain type of guy who is probably looking at you a certain way. And I've seen it hundreds of times. I worked as a bouncer for 4 years, and I got to know a lot of patrons. I knew a large number of very good men who worked hard and would come to the bar, get a drink, and mind their own business. And guess what? They were lonely because they minded their own business. They didn't pester women. I knew a lot of assholes who were just guys who came to the bar every day and they would bother the women to the point where I occasionally had to kick them out. But guess what? Because they were putting their foot out, you know, they were talking to the women, they were getting the women. And I'm sure they broke a lot of hearts. There's nothing I could do about that, but I saw it happen a lot. I saw the good guys sit there being lonely, and I saw the bad guys getting all the girls. This is a limited view, of course. It's a limited sample size. But I think it's probably more than most people have experienced. So, what's the point? Ladies, it might be time to start stepping up. If you see a guy and you like him, you think he looks nice, you think it looks like he's probably a hard worker, or he's kind, he does something nice, so on and so forth, go ask him out. Ask for his number. We're in this weird transitional phase right now where all of the good guys are afraid to harass you, honestly. We don't want to bother you. So you're being picked up by all of the bad guys. The ones that aren't looking for relationships are just looking to get you in their bed. Just my 2 cents. And this is a generalization, of course. Not all of the guys who are approaching you are and not all of the quiet guys at the bar are good.
Of the real game, like back then you actually had to go up to someone and speak to them and you'd swap numbers on a bit of paper.
Always go to the bar staff, so have you got pen and paper?
Yeah.
They knew exactly what you were doing.
Excuse me, sorry. Now a guy will stare at you across the room, won't say a word to you, and will just slide into your DMs later on that night.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a study done in the 90s, and what they found out, I think, still holds true today. So what they did is they took a group of men and they took a group of women and they categorized these men. So it was like high status, t-shirt, McDonald's. Same thing with the women. High status, t-shirt, McDonald's. And then they asked, the men, okay, would you go to coffee with this person, go on a date, marry? And in all three categories, the guy didn't care. It's like, yes, sure, whatever. With women, it was a whole different story. Women went to the high status man for the majority of them. So that was for coffee, date, marriage. My takeaway on this is just goes along with the trends I've been seeing. So we are in this Kardashian culture and have been for, 10 years. I don't know how long they've been on. But this idea of perfection has just been kind of unseen before. I mean, before we had magazines, we knew they were kind of airbrushed, but what we see now, women are doing eyebrows, microblading, dermaplaning, eyelash extensions, hair extensions, lip fillers, cheek fillers, breast implants, butt implants, fat transfer, taking ribs out. I mean, literally women are taking their ribs out. So I think just the pressure and the unattainable beauty that they put on themselves, they're also putting that sort of unattainable image and desire on a guy as well. And that's why these guys are backing out, because guys know, that's crazy. We can't do all that. Some can. I mean, it's the small minority can do that. But for the majority of men, they're not going to be able to get to your high standards that you not only put on yourself, but you're putting on these men too. And I don't even know if women are aware that they're doing that. And if you think about it, it's really a beautiful thing that men will just kind of take you as you are. They don't need you to be high status, or they don't care where you work. If you work at McDonald's or you're making six figures and some executive of a company. But look at what we're doing to men. We want them to just be everything. It's unattainable. They're getting out of the market, and rightfully so. So I even asked my brother about this. I said, hey, is this true? Men don't care? He's like, 1,000%. Men could give two shits. I was like, that's going to be a topic then. So anyways, guys, follow for more. Comment below what you think, or, even ask your friends, talk about their experience, and leave it in the comments. Because I think we're onto something.
They want guys to spend as much time putting effort into I should say some of these women want guys to spend as much time putting as much effort into their looks as they do. But then if a man were to do that, then he's sassy or he's DL. But also understand, whenever a man does that, he's probably going to be pulling. And if he's pulling, then just understand that 99% of y'all don't have a shot. And then the ones that do have a shot, that man can go through. I'm going to have Susie today. I'm going to have Lindsay today. I'm going to have Megan, Jenna. My month is booked. My month is booked. My year is booked. That's what F-boys do. That's what Chads do. That's what Tyrones do. My day is booked. My week, my life is booked. I'm going to continue operating in this vein until I get tired of it. Because that's what they want. So I spend time putting effort into this. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't put effort into how you look, nice shave, whatever it is. Spend time studying your style and really honing in on what that is, and then looking good, going for that type of style, seeing examples of how people wear that and say, okay, this is what feels right to me. This is authentically me, and just go for that, right? But what a lot of these women do is they look at, like she was talking about, a Kardashian or a celebrity, a female celebrity, and they try to attain to be that. And they start off saying, okay, I'll put a little here and a little bit over there, and then, oh, they got this, it'll really up my game, so I'm gonna put a little bit here, a little bit there, and I'm gonna go get this product and this lotion or this cream, and then all of a sudden you're getting these clothes and these sandals, and all of a sudden I'm doing a tutorial that looks similar but still looks like me, but then kind of makes me look like them. And when I get comments about me looking like that celebrity, I get offended, but then secretly I actually like it, but then somehow I want them to know that this is me and uniquely me and see me for me and not for that celebrity that I put makeup on. It's confusing and it's weird. So men, just say, you know what? You got it. I'm out.
How to tell if a guy is a... I've just realized this. If he has one of these two things, he is unfortunately... It's attractive, but he's a... First thing is the modern mullet. Is that hairstyle so hot? Amen. Preach. Second thing is, unfortunately, if he do be having his little silver hoop earring, like a little piercing up in there, he do be getting around town. Also, the little crop tee. An oversized baggy crop tee, he a little... We love to see it, but we hate to see it at the same time.
That's what I just said. A man that looks like y'all want him to look, his schedule is booked. He gonna be busy.
Because nobody admits anything that I grew up in the game, man. I've done a lot of things, man. Now it's time for a change. Now it's time for a change. I'm tired of doing the same thing. Time to get up out the game, man. Now it's time for a change.
It's about that time.
Now it's time for a change.
2000 mine. I've been looking for a change. I'm trying to push that new range, but that money I love to spend.
Since I have some awesome guys on TikTok right now listening, I'm thinking, may I have your opinion, please? What is it with men these days and not wanting to date? Do you guys have a fear of commitment? Is it the woman these days? Does it have anything to do with spending money on women? Does it have anything to do with trust issues? Maybe dating apps? Maybe you feel like there are endless options in terms of significant others? Please let me know in the comments.
I wonder if we as a society have pushed the pendulum so far that men are now just like not approaching women.
Society told men, you're toxic, you're the problem, you need to be more emotional, you need to be more feminine. So they listened.
No, single men, why are you don't pursue anymore? What's up?
How you doing?
Hey.
You are gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. You look fine yourself.
Thank you.
All right, so I gotta ask.
What's up? Ask me anything.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
Making 6 figures?
Yes.
And do you live alone or with your parents?
Live by myself.
So you ain't got no roommates?
No roommates or anything.
Oh, okay, good. Because I can't be wasting my time with anyone less than the boss. Period.
I hear you. I respect that, definitely. What about you? You got a job?
I mean, I just started my OnlyFans, so it's about to be up. It's getting there.
Okay. Well, do you live with your parents?
I mean, I live with a couple friends, but like, I'm about to be up, so it's getting there.
Okay. How's your credit at least? Because how you gonna get you on the spot? You got good credit?
My dad about to help me with that, but like, it's getting there.
Okay.
What happened?
You're getting out.
Excuse me?
You're getting out. You talking about all this value stuff and you can't even value yourself, man. Them looks ain't everything. The heck?
I'm aggravated. I've been talking to this boy, man, I don't know. You get in my inbox on Facebook on Sunday. It's Thursday, why the f still texting? The second day we text him, you asking me for a plate of food. I want my plate. It done been 3-4 days with my plate. You already come over here begging. All right, cool, I ain't got no problem, I'm gonna feed you. I wake up the next morning, you sitting up here texting me talking about, that food was good. You cook like that all the time. You keep cooking like this, you gonna make your way to my heart. Get your ass out my face. You think I'm slow? Do I look like you could just manipulate me into what the fuck saying? Like, shout out to my cousin on the hair. But, like, it's weird. It's annoying. All this texting. I'm not 15. I'm damn near 30. Pick up the phone and call me. Stop asking me what I'm doing being at work. What you doing when you get off work? I told you I'm a homebody. Be at home and with my kids. Nothing has changed. When you take me out on a date, all this texting, you ain't even picked up the phone and said, okay, well, I want to take you out this weekend. You loving on my Facebook. You see I got my hand on foot and go, let's go out. No, because I got nothing to get in my inbox planning a date for me right now. date around, keep your options open, and if the man's not stepping, doing all that texting, you can't even pick up the phone and FaceTime me. I ain't no ugly ass bitch. My head might be small. But bitch, stop playing with me. I'm in a way. That's my rant. Oh, done.
You know, honestly, I feel like that's a line that would have worked back in the day. You keep on cooking like this, then you're going to make your way to my heart. Oh, ha, 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 stop. And they would have actually liked that, and they would have actually responded to that. But because y'all don't have any social skills, and that type of stuff doesn't appeal to you, because y'all really don't want to cater to a man and cook for a man and actually do anything for a man, then that type of stuff doesn't appeal to you. If that man says, I got a Bentley waiting in the garage, then that's when y'all want to have a conversation. If that man says, oh, I got it all planned out, we gonna go on a $30,000 vacation, and at the end of that $30,000 vacation, I'm gonna have a $50,000 ring waiting on you, and attached to that $50,000 ring is a $200,000 wedding. Anything you want, baby, by the bar. Foolishness. And what man is going to be involved in that foolishness?
If you are a young man, I'm talking like in your early to mid 20s, living in the United States, I have questions. And no, this is not for me. I've happily married 25 years. I got my guy. So here's what I want to know. Why aren't you dating? I have 2 daughters and a son. My son is still in high school, and he's just now getting to the age where he would start dating. And he has been very blessed by being raised by 2 older sisters and a mama and dad who have invested in him and talked with him about how to treat women. But here's what I'm finding that is so odd. My girls who are college age, one is at a big university in the Southeastern Conference, and the other one is doing independent learning and starting her own business. They are in their 20s, early 20s. And guys are not asking them out. And it's not just them. And my daughters are beautiful girls, and they are good Christian girls, and they are very emotionally mature. They know their values, they know their standards, and it's not even that they're being too particular. It's also not just my daughters. It is their friends. It is their acquaintances. Guys are not asking girls out anymore on proper dates. What is happening instead is, let's say my daughter takes a guy to a date party. She's a stunning, beautiful girl, very intelligent. Like, she doesn't have a hard time finding someone to go to a date party with her. However, the follow-up to that is not a date. It is a text. Hey, I'm out at this bar. You want to come meet me? Guys, let me tell you, that is not a proper date. That is a lazy way of pursuing a woman. That is a boy's way of pursuing a woman. It is not a man's way of pursuing a woman. And maybe I have it all wrong. Like, maybe guys just are no longer looking to secure a long-term relationship. They no longer look at getting married in the future. I don't know. You tell me. Is that the case? I know the older of my 2 daughters is looking for her helpmate in life. She is looking for a good Christian man, not a boy. And that is not determined by age necessarily. What I mean is, he doesn't need to be 30. A 21-year-old man can be a man, or he can be a boy. And if you're spending your days playing video games and not pursuing a career and stability, you're a boy. And I don't even mean that you need to be in college. Like, there are millions of careers out there. You don't have to go to college to be pursuing something. So you tell me, what's going on with guys in their early 20s right now? Do you not know how to ask women out on dates? Are you so afraid of being rejected? Do you just not want to date? What's going on?
Honestly, you can sit up here and attack men or say what men are and aren't doing, you're asking a question that you already think that you have the answer to. Your girls probably think the same thing. If they're listening to you, they probably think the same thing. We have all the answers. Who wouldn't want us? We're so great. We're, like you said, good Christian women. We go to school and whatever else you said. We're too great for these boys. We're too good for them. These guys are trash. Let's be honest. These guys are garbage. They never measure up. They play video games all day. They're not pursuing a career. They're not men. They're boys. A real man would do this. A boy does this. And honestly and truly, once again, they can't measure up. They're just little kids to us. We're in college. One of us goes to an SEC school or whatever you said. Another one of us is in a really good school. We're well-to-do. We are prime women. Can't beat us. Just our upbringing, our brother, our father, our mother, us as sisters, we talk to each other, and just the insights that we glean from each other is just otherworldly. I don't know why a man would not want all of this. Well, if this is any indication of how they are, then I can kind of see why. Probably nice, probably try to be a good upstanding citizen, but you think that, you know, what you're doing versus what another guy is doing is just so much better. That's what a lot of women have trouble with today. They think their goals, their aspirations, and their careers, they think their hobbies are so much better than men's. They think what they get into, oh, we want to go shopping, we want to go for brunch, we want to go travel all over the world. Why would a man want to stay inside and play games? Why do you want to keep on going to these countries and these places where you get male attention and validation? That's your game. Oh, we don't even care about the male validation and attention. You don't? Is that why you be sitting at the bar talking about? Remember, a woman said, I went on a 7-day vacation in an expensive place and only spent 200 pounds. I don't know what that is in US dollars, but I do know that, let's say it's $500. I went 7 days, and I'm just estimating here. I went 7 days on vacation in an expensive country, and I only spent $500. At bare minimum, that's the plane ticket. At minimum, you should probably be around somewhere around 3,000. But because men are picking up the tab, and that's their fault. Or I would say that's what they want to do with their money. Then you have the option to keep yours. And so you think that every man should do that for you. You think whatever you're doing is so great. But maybe men don't want to be out there paying for other women. If y'all are going to be playing these types of games, then they would rather stay inside and play games with their boys. Why not? I would rather stay inside, order some food that I like, watch a movie, go to bed, get up and go to work. That's it. My game is going to the gym. I like doing that. And I'm going to keep on doing that. That's what a lot of men say. I like going to the bar with the fellas. That's my game. I like chilling with them. They're not reaching out to us. They're not contacting us. They're not coming up to us in the bar no more. You know why? Because y'all think that y'all so far up. Y'all so far better than other dudes. Why would anybody? Forget dudes. Why would anybody? Why would animals be around that? Want to be around that? If y'all think y'all just so high and mighty.
This is a question for all the men out there. What stops you from asking a girl on a date? Because it's been 3 years and nobody has knocked on my door. Nobody has knocked on my door. Nobody has slid in my DMs. What y'all scared of?
Nobody's dating anymore. And no, it's not because people are lazy, shallow, or afraid of commitment. It's because we're all trying to build love in a system that was never designed to hold it. This isn't a you problem. It's not even a them problem. It's a world problem, and we've all been dragged into it. First up, marriage. Not happening. People aren't coupling up at 22 with matching towels and a mortgage anymore.
Why? Because we can't afford love and dental, duh. And if you do find someone you vibe with, you still gotta cross-reference credit scores, trauma loads, and whether you're building something or just filling space until they figure it out. So people are going solo, delaying marriage, skipping kids, and replacing intimacy with curated solitude and memes about emotional damage. We're independent, but not necessarily on purpose. Stay with me, because this brings me to work. Like the jobs we clock in for. Remote work was supposed to be the dream. You roll out of bed, no bra, microwave a coffee 3 times, and boom, you're a functioning adult. But with fewer partners, fewer coworkers, fewer daily interactions, a lot of us are just sitting in silence, screaming inside group chats that don't reply. That's not freedom. That's isolation in disguise as freedom. We traded cubicles for freedom, but freedom without support is just isolation in yoga pants. And the gig economy? The gig economy. We were promised flexibility, but it's more like, congratulations! You're the CEO of your own burnout. And it's not that everyone wants to be famous or an influencer either. It's that no one wants to work full time and still feel broke. The jobs that hold the world together don't come with stability anymore. They come with back pain, burnout, and $27 left by Thursday. We turned caretaking into failure and spectacle into value. We forgot that some jobs aren't glamorous. They're holy. Most high-paying jobs now are capital jobs, not societal ones. The guy shifting imaginary numbers on Wall Street makes 7 figures. But the social worker keeping families from falling apart, they're crying on their lunch break making $20 an hour. Tell me again how that's okay. We are not rewarding people who sustain life. We are rewarding people who extract from it. And then, if you do want to be one of the smarty good ones, like a therapist or a nurse practitioner, congrats! That'll be 6 years of school, $100,000 in debt, and the privilege of being broke while you save lives. The path to freedom requires 5 years of unpaid internships and a master's degree in burnout. And the middle path, dignified work, fair play, no burnout, doesn't seem to exist. You want to know what's really sexy? Living within your means. We know the system's broken. We're just too tired to fight someone's uncle in the comments again. Like, yes, Mark, I do believe capitalism is unsustainable. No, I don't have the energy to debate it between my 2 jobs and this stress rash. And let's bring in identity really quick, shall we? Back in the day, identity was like, I'm John, I fish. Now it's, I'm demisexual plant-based Virgo who's pivoting from UX design to somatic healing while exploring my inner child and launching a newsletter about dopamine regulation. We're free to be anything, but nobody warned us that freedom comes with an infinite existential crisis and an identity buffet where every dish might give you spiritual food poisoning. So while we're spiraling about who we are, student debt is suffocating us, housing is laughable, and climate change is throwing hands. And instead of helping each other, we're either too busy fighting online or closed off from the world. Because the American system trained us to turn on each other or to close the world out. Trust in people? Only 34% of Americans say they believe most people can be trusted. That's not just sad, it's apocalyptic. It's the village is burning and everyone is live streaming it energy. We are in a spiritual dissonance, people. Our bodies are humming one rhythm, rest, community, meaning, and capitalism is blaring dubstep in the background, screaming, monetize or die, baby. And I'm sorry, but no, I don't want to build a brand. I want to be held. We're not broken, people. We're just awake in a world that keeps gaslighting our guts. And then we get told to fix it with hustle. Launch a business. Monetize your hobbies. Become a boss. Man, launch what? The microwave? We don't need passive income. We need passive nervous systems. We need to stop measuring worth in productivity and start remembering that being human is not a brand strategy. It's not that we're bad at dating. Maybe it's that dating can't survive in a world this spiritually malnourished.
I like the point that she made about being independent, but not necessarily by choice. There are a lot of women out there that are in this boat. And I think society, a lot of times, in order to keep them there, or I should say, some of these women that are dating coaches, in order to keep them there, they'll say, well, it's better to be single and lonely and doing it by yourself. Why don't you just get a cat or buy some wine? Why don't you just do that and get something to preoccupy your time, instead of saying, well, here's how you avoid being independent and you really don't want to be. You're independent because you're thinking, and some of these women are continuing to tell you, that all of the men are dogs, all of them are trash, none of them will provide for you, and if they are providing, they're not providing enough. If they love you, they don't love you enough. If they are mowing the grass or if they're taking care of things around the house, it's not enough, it's never enough. And you don't want to live like that. You don't want to be around a person that doesn't give 100%. A man specifically, should be able to give 100%. And you honestly and truly, your top end should only be 50% because you're the woman. Really, honestly and truly, if he's a super ultra provider man, your top end should be like 5%. So 5% of the time, you should have the option to do something. 5% of the time. But other than that, if you're really with a true provider man, but if you're with a dusty or a broke man, then you might have to be doing things 30% of the time. But in no situation should you have to do 50-50. In no situation should you have to do 50% of the housework, 50% of the finances, 50% of the child rearing. That's not a man. That's not a provider man. And so if you get one of these guys, he's going to manipulate you. If you get one of these guys, he's going to let me not say that on YouTube. He's going to do you extremely wrong. He's going to put his hands on you. Let me say it like that. This man, from the beginning, from the jump, we know because he's 50-50, he's probably going to be half of a man. He's probably going to be half of a man. So just be careful of these types of guys because they're not good people. And so you look at that and you're like, well, I guess I'll stay single. I guess I'll be a boss babe. I guess I'll be independent because I don't know what else to do. Right. And so I think that's a really good point that she made, because I think there are a lot of women out there that are going through this type of stuff.